was coffee.
Huh?
It was without the water for about 1 hour or so.
And it's still alive.
Yeah, because it was in the bin.
Yeah. I think it can live on its own.
Oh, without the water.
Yeah. See, look what else we found. Fish louse. Argulus. On one of the dead fish. And then the other one that's like barely. The other one's pretty alive, but we found one in the tail. It's ammonia. It's very windy. So we tried this medicine here for the Argulus, and no effect. Look, it's still swimming. Pretty lively. So we tried this medication here on the Argulus and no effect. It's still swimming pretty lively. So he's been changing a lot of water lately, and that's his reading, so could be stressing the fish. Well, it's not that high, but it should be below 20. I think it's okay. Hi guys, so
Yesterday, when I shot the
yeah, go ahead.
yesterday when I shot the filter,
Yeah.
so empty the phone, I shot the filter.
So you shut the filter yesterday
So, for about 4-5 hours.
to change the water.
Yeah, so this portion gets dried.
Oh, okay.
All the things dried up.
Yes. Yeah.
So when the water starts, then
All the muck starts coming out. So it's been a week since I was last here. There's been continued deaths of the fish, and the weak fish that we saw last time, they all died, plus a few more. And today he pulled out a dead fish, and he found Argulus, or fish louse. And we found this on 2 fish. So we scraped the we scraped the mucus. So I'm gonna take this home today and see if there's any more parasites in there, and just to see whether parasites will survive a transport from one place to another, because I don't have the microscope here. We also tried, well, this is what he's been treating the last week. This one, although it's expired, and some of these medications have been expired for like a few years, because in Canada we can't get these medications anymore. And for this fish louse here, the treatment for that is Dimilin, and of course we don't have a treatment. Well, it's gonna call the local koi shop here. It's a garden center, to see whether they carry any chemicals at all. The fish are still very weak. They haven't fed for a while, but the ammonia, I measured it on the hanometer, it's 0.06. So I think that's a bit high. I don't know how to convert it. There's a formula, but I think anything over 0.02 is considered high. and he's been changing a lot of water. In fact, like 75% just yesterday. And I checked this chlorine. I was expecting it to be 0 because the pond still looks pretty dirty. But the foam is better. But it turned out to be 26 parts per billion on the Hana, which is not bad. That means it's an oxidizing water. It's probably because of all the water changes, and also he's killed a lot of organics and cleaned up the pond with all the pond treatment that he's been using. There's some koi here. They're still breathing pretty fast. With the Argillus or the fish louse, I think fish can get rid of them by flashing, but I think some of these fish are even too weak to flash, and even if they flash and get rid of parasites, the parasites will just end up between the rocks and swim and find themselves back onto the fish, because he's got lots of rocks there. So in the future, he'll have to get rid of all these rocks, because it's not good for what he thinks is filtration, but it just becomes hiding places for parasites. I also took a sample of some bacteria in here, the muck, and I'm gonna take it home and examine it under the microscope and see if there's like a natural microbiome in there, like worms and stuff that normally lives in a healthy filter, to see if those have been killed, because when those are killed, I think they give off ammonia. So even though he hasn't given the koi any food, and he's changed a lot of water, there's still quite a bit of ammonia in here. Anyways, we'll keep you updated. On a happier note, these are his grow-ons in his garage. They're beautiful, and look how lively they are. It's nice and warm in here, in your garage. Yeah. He's got some fries from spawning. Is it spawning this year? Yeah?
Yeah, it's
Spawning in your pond?
yeah.
I thought they didn't spawn.
That's just the yellow.
Oh, so they had a spawn.
Only the yellow.
Only the yellow. And then from the one that died, what kind of fish is that one?
The yellow?
The yellow, nice pattern?
Stainless.
Harawaki, stainless doitsu. The one that died, it's beautiful. She spawned this year, right? And lucky, before she died, she left some babies. Look, Lots. These guys are, this guy's an expert in raising and spawning babies. Unfortunately, this year is not good. So if I ever need a fish, I know where to get them. Yeah, I'm free to take any fish I want. But you know, somebody's got to die first out of those fish. But I think if I had to replace, I'd probably get a bigger fish so that it matches the similar size. That's what I have now. Yeah. But he's got some connections. So first up under the microscope is we're gonna look at Argillus, fish louse, under the microscope. Even though you don't need a microscope to see this, I want to see some details of what they look like. To have a look at their eyes. I think it'll be kind of cool. So I had to put a cover slip on this one because it just keeps walking away from the slide. Look at the eyes. Or are those the eyes? Maybe the nose? You can see the feet underneath. The tail. They look nasty. These are crustaceans. So they have like, or is that the head? I don't know. They have a shell. That's why they're very resistant to FMG, formaldehyde, malachite, and something. I can't remember. So those parasite medications won't work on Argillus. The medication for this would be Dimilin, and we can't get that here. I don't think salt will touch this either because it's a crustacean, because of the hard shell. But who knows? I don't know if those are the eyes or are these the eyes right here. They look like the tail. And I don't know if that's poop or babies or eggs. And this is only on 40 times magnification. So what we'll do is we're gonna put some more water in this, and then I'm gonna put a drop of, or a granule of potassium permanganate, and it'll turn the water around it purple to see if it dies. All in the name of science. Okay. Where's my potassium permanganate? Here it is. PP. Not use this ever I think it's like 7 or 8 years old. So that's him there. It looks like it stopped moving, maybe because it's running low on oxygen and under the cover slip. But I saw him move. Oh, it's still moving. So here we go. Just a little tiny granule of potassium permanganate. It's gonna go in the slide. It's coming. It's coming. Maybe a bit more, put a little bit more water. There we go. See the purple? That's potassium permanganate going into the slide. Now it's covered with potassium permanganate. So I don't know why it's not moving now because of the potassium permanganate. Oh, it's still moving. See that? It's surrounded by potassium permanganate. So I don't know if it's not moving so much because of the PP. Or is it because it's just running out of oxygen? You can see the potassium permanganate is turning brown pretty quickly. That means it's wearing off. It doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. It's not like squirming around because the PP stinging it. I don't think it's affecting it. Anyways, we'll take off the cover slip and put some more water in to see if it's still alive. Yeah, it's still alive. It's still moving. It could be the head. If you look under the slide, it's just full of, it's just full of, it's all purple. But here it's more brown. Definitely not working, I would say. This thing is resistant. I'll show you what the, see how pink that is? I don't know whether it seems to not stick onto the fish louse. So I washed the potassium permanganate off him and put some more water in to give him some oxygen. And he is well alive. He is well lively again, it seems. See? Not affected. So if you ever get fish louse and you don't have any medicine, I think the best thing to do is like take your koi out and go tick picking with a tweezer. Get it all out by hand manually and start vacuuming the bottom of the pond. Because this thing doesn't get killed very easily without the proper medication. I bet you if I put him back in the little container where I had him, he'll start swimming again. In fact, that's what I'll do. Next up is some filter sludge from the waterfall filter that he has. So this is at 100 times. And I see movements. And I see movements. Astrochit gastrotricks, these are called. Quite a few of them. These are healthy bugs. That's fine. That's okay. That looks like a dead that looks like a that looks like a red dead rotifer. I forgot what this is called. They're pretty cool. So with all those treatments he's done, he hasn't killed his filters much. Sometimes these chemicals don't penetrate very well under a thick film of biofilm. This is how you chase a parasite. If you have these these moving tables on your microscope. It's like it's a skill to like chase after these things. They move so fast. Oh, look at that. It's a huge ciliate or worm or something, or amoeba. That's kind of cool. So the treatments hasn't killed these. There's a fly in the room. Look at this. There's a gastrotrick that's trapped inside a shell of an amoeba, a testate amoeba, the shell of it anyways. And think it can't get out, so it's perfect. We can examine this closer. Oh, it's... Please don't come out. See if we can center this better.
Are you filming?
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Can you kill the fly for me?
I have a fly myself. I'll get it. Hang on. Okay, we're gonna go. Oh no, it's coming out. Don't come out. Don't come out. Stay. Stay inside. Stay inside. Stop. Okay, go back inside. Okay, now I'm gonna go 400 times. Where'd he go? Is that the same one? We got him moving slow anyways. But I don't know if it's the same one. It's gotta be the same one. This one's a cyclops. I think this is cyclops. Maybe not. Wow, look at that. I forgot what these are called. huge. I've never seen this in my pond. Magnificent. It's huge. This is at 40 times. Look at this. This is called a hydra. It's magnificent. Never seen one in my pond filters. It's huge. And this is at only at 40 times. First time I've seen a hydra. Very cool. They can contract into a small size. See that gastric? See how small that is compared to the hydra? That's big. I wonder what they eat. Hopefully they eat fish parasites. They're like pond octopus. Closer look. Jonathan, look at this.
What?
Look at this. Look.
What the hell is that? Is that an amoeba?
No. It's huge.
What the hell is that? Hydra.
You got it. It's a hydra.
Neat.
Look, it's contracted. Look.
Is that from the pond?
From Till's pond.
Oh.
Is that what's causing the koi
No. To die? No.
Okay.
This is in the filter.
Okay.
Look at that. It's magnificent.
Wow.
Wow.
It expands so much.
It really
Yeah.
does. It's so wild.
Hey guys, we're gonna visit a friend's place because he's got some problem with his pond. He's got some fish dying. So gather my stuff. So we're heading towards my friend's now. Just to give you a little bit of background on this pond. I think he's been doing koi. Well, I've been doing koi for 8 years, and I think he's been doing koi 10 years before I was. So he's been in the koi hobby for 18 years. And one of the fish I got from him, it's one of his babies. It's my Matsuba. Very nice guy. But his pond, this must be his like maybe 3rd or 4th pond. His pond is always overstock, and he breeds koi, and I think he ships his baby, and obviously he sells them because my first 3 koi that never grew came from him. And so I ended up giving those back and buying other fish. They were good in that they, I think they, even though they were like very tiny, they were able to start up my pond system. He gets, you know, koi deaths almost every year, and usually after usually in the spring he gets these usually after the ice thaws. Usually after the ice thaw, he would discover like, you know, 1 or 2 fish. Unfortunately, it's always the usually it's always the bigger fish that dies. And again, he just told me today, even though it's not the end of winter. It's like in the middle of summer. His two koi. One is I believe is a very nice Japanese kohako, and one was a Showa. He just woke up one morning and apparently found him dead with a discolored gills, not white but kind of brown. So it could be anything, because like when the gills die, I mean when the fish die, even a healthy set of gills would turn brown and eventually rot, depending on how far along you discovered the dead fish. He thinks, because he's been feeding rice lately, and he's seen on YouTube how Japanese would wash dishes in their pond, and it would have rice in it, and the koi would like eat rice. And he figured at one point he was feeding rice, and the rice would come out of his gills. So when he discovered the gills were discolored, he thinks like it's the rice that was the culprit. And he never did see any flashing or any sign of lethargy that I know of. What else has he told me? Yes, ever since, I don't know exactly how many days ago this started, he discovered 2 more koi today that are found dead in the waters. And it's been a few days now that he hasn't fed the koi, I think, which is good. And also he's done several large 30-40% water changes. He doesn't test his water. I think he's one of those that in the practice of keeping koi, he's one of those. There's, I think, a bunch that doesn't test their water. And some people are good with it in terms of reading the water and doing routine koi maintenance, adding fish, etc. And they get by. Again, he's got a lot of fish, so I guess, I don't know, some people that keep a lot of fish, some people that keep a lot of fish, doesn't really mind, or it doesn't have as much impact, again I'm assuming, than people like me that keeps only a handful of koi, because like if you have 3 koi and one of them dies, I would assume it's pretty devastating. Whereas if you had like 100 koi and it's for real, some people have 100 plus koi, that if 1 or 2 or 3 or even 5 dies, it's a bit negligible. So we'll be there in a couple of minutes. He's like only like 10 minutes away from me. I'll see you there. Well guys, here's his pond. It's beautiful. Um, Look at this. It's well protected from it's well protected from invaders from animals. And he's got these strings, fishing strings on top to prevent herons from landing. Kind of cool. So when you arrive at a pond, to see what's wrong, you creep up to the pond slowly and to see the koi's behavior, because if they see you first, they will like come up like dogs and think they're gonna be fed. So as you can see, the koi are all swimming, and there's even some munching going on there, and there's no obvious fish that's sitting on the bottom and isolating. They're kind of swimming a bit lazily, but that could be the water current. It's got a small amount of water current. And then if you look at the water flow, the aeration, it looks like he's got a lot of aeration going on here. I just saw a fish splash. Just at the corner of my eye, I saw like a shiny scale splash. And then you look at the surface of the water. Here you can tell right away that there's a lot of organics in the water, and you can see that because you can see the foam. There's a thick layer of water on top there, and also there's foam. You can see that by the plants there. That foam could also mean that there's just been a spawning, but he hasn't told me that he's seen any spawning lately. But his fish do spawn every year, usually early in the spring. In terms of the clarity of the water, it's a healthy kind of brown, but it's not that clear. So he pointed out a couple of fish in question here, and one is that Harawaki, right? And it's the sargix swimming on top of the water. It looks like he's got cloudy eyes and bump on his skin. It looks like in pretty bad condition. It's a doitsu. Another one that's pretty obvious is this hietsuri. It's apparently still alive, but almost dead. So that's bad. And those are the two obvious ones anyways, but you're right, he's right, they've been lethargic. He thinks, I asked maybe it's ammonia, but he doesn't think so, because he hasn't changed the water. He hasn't fed them for like 3-4 days, and he's been changing. He usually changes 30% of the water every three days. So the first thing we need to do is test the water. But I think there's ammonia. I don't smell it. Do you smell ammonia? No? It doesn't smell funky or anything. But it's windy today, so you can't really smell the pond. It doesn't smell like spawning. No, no spawning. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and test the water first. That's the first thing you do. So he's catching the Hiyutori already. Looks like it's got tethered fins. Is he still breathing? Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah. That one's a nice fish. Oh, and what chemicals have you put in so far?
I treated the
It's-
with
PP, right? But it didn't turn purple for long. Maybe like 10 minutes.
about 3-4 minutes.
Maybe just 3 or 4 minutes. Again, like that's because there's a lot of organics in this pond. I'd be surprised if PP would stay in this pond for 4 hours. That's recommended. When did the fish start dying? Like
3 days.
it's Sunday now, right?
Today is Sunday,
Friday,
Thursday.
Thursday. So you found 2 fish die that day, and then you found 2 today. Yeah. So here's the result of the water test, and I think he's got a bit of ammonia here. Nitrate is 0. Nitrite is probably 20. It's heading to 40. This is KH. It's 4. I know around this area the KH should be about 6 drops if we have the same water supply, and we should. And this, surprisingly, is his pH. So that is very low. That's probably under, I don't know, under 6. But I don't have the low range scale with me. I only have the high range scale. So I think he's had a pH crash at some point, or it's still happening. So when you have a result like that, it helps to check it again. So I got some more water from the pond. This is the pond, and we're going to compare it to my friend's tap water, which is this one. So we'll repeat the result. Oh, I could have made a mistake here. That looks different. Maybe it's about the same. I wonder what I did with that one. So I checked the pH again, and must have screwed up the first time. But it looks like I repeated it twice. It looks like about 7.8. This here is this tap water pH. So pH is okay, and TDS is okay too. So this one here is not very happy too. It's another Doitsu, and it's got something on its skin. Little dots sticking out. And you can see the edges is not very smooth. And he's breathing very fast. And that one is hanging around the edge too. The skin is bad. And it looks like there's fungus growing on his skin. We'll see if we have a closer look. And it doesn't even startle. The gills are all red. This one here too, looks like there's fungus growing on its skin. And like I said, this one has got cloudy eyes. Maybe not even cloudy, but there's fungus growing on his skin. Now I understand why someone would want to bomb a pond with a lot of sequoia with potassium permanganate. So we'll do a scrape of him. Look at the gills. He's very tired. The gills got mucus in it too, see?
Okay.
So I'll see if I can get a strip of that. He's very tired. There we go. Okay, put him back.
Yeah.
And let's have a look at the other side. He's got ulcers here too.
Put him back.
Yeah. We just stand it up.
Is this on? Huh? Should I watch it? Yeah, I did see that. The ones which are running around.
Yeah, they're very small. See?
Yeah, I did see them. Yeah.
Lots, I think. That's Chilodonella, I think. Fungus in there too. Sorry, algae. At the same time, Costia. Not good. Here's another one more active. Got it? It's a lot of dirt. Okay, okay. I think I got some. Okay. lively. Okay, I think I got some.
Yeah.
Thank you. Phil, here's a better slide. Here's a better slide. That's a fluke. Have you heard of fluke?
It's a worm.
Yeah, it's a worm. And this one, see that? That's a parasite. That one.
That one is a worm, right?
Yeah. But the round one is trichodina. And the other one is, I don't know, I forgot now, it's gill fluke or skin fluke.
But this looks like one of those leeches.
Yeah.
So there are leeches in the pond as well. Okay, that looks like leech.
Yeah. Fungus. More trichodina. Look, Phil, that's a good picture there. See? See that?
What's that?
It's another parasite. It's called I believe it's trichodina. Like a flying saucer. See?
Yeah, did they look at the fish?
Yeah. I think they can cause ulcers and stuff.
Okay, I do have analysis.
There's other ones here too. I think they're called costia.
And they all parasites.
Yeah, they're all parasites. There's one. See it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't center this.
How long do I have to do a salt pack?
Uh, Probably the whole day, night, maybe 3 or 4 days. So it's late now, and as you saw, we scraped 3 fish, and we found trichadina, some flukes, costia. We also after the water quality check, there was ammonia in the water, and nitrites were getting high. before I left, he was gonna. I gave him. It's one of my parasite treatment I've had years, and it expired in 2019. Never used it, but I had it on hand. But he said he'll use it. He also has some tetra anti-parasite treatment. I don't know how old that is. Hard to find the parasite treatments now in Canada. Apparently, I haven't been into a koi store in like years, even before the pandemic. He also has potassium permanganate, so that's an option. And he doesn't have salt, but that's another option. There's at one time he took out a couple of fish. One is the yellow doitsu. That one was very weak, and he also took out the white fish, the one that's hanging around by the edge there. And I said, before taking him out, can I scrape it? And so I did. I scraped both of them, and I found no parasites. I found some trichodina that's not moving, and also a dead skin fluke. And I said to him, oh, this one doesn't have much, and it's dead. So surprisingly, he said to me, oh, I dipped those two. He had them in a tub and poured the tetra anti-parasite treatment. And wow, I don't know how much of the dose he used, but he just poured a little bit or a lot into a tub and dipped the two for like 5 minutes. The weaker one, when he put it back, wasn't swimming, and looked like almost dead. The white one, the one that we scraped initially, that was like feisty and fighting, looked much better. Even after that dip, he was livelier. Anyways, the plan of action is he will do. He was about to pour chemicals right there and then, but then I told him, like, you have to do a large water change. That's what's instructed in the bottle. So he's gonna wait. He's gonna do more water changes tonight and tomorrow. And I told him, like, you can use the nitrate to figure out the level of organics still remaining in the pond, but his nitrate strip tests are not very accurate. So I'll come back tomorrow and do a nitrate test. But I said, do water changes, chlorinated water. I don't think the chlorine will just get destroyed or by the organics in the pond. Keep doing water changes 30% at a time until he doesn't see much of any of the foams that's hanging around on the surface. So we're gonna wait until tomorrow before we treat the pond with the FMG. And tomorrow I'll bring some dechlor and bring my chlorine tester to see if there are any detectable chlorine after all that water changes. I also advised him later on if you can take all the rocks out from the bottom of his pond, because that's where organics accumulate and deteriorate, decompose, whatever, and gets and that would release ammonia. Some people have the belief that if you have rocks at the bottom of the pond, there will be bacteria there that would filter out filter out or consume the poop and organic matter. But in his case, with so many fish, that filter and the amount of bacteria that's at the bottom and hiding between the rocks is not enough to be able to digest all that organic and food and crap that's accumulating between the rocks. It's always best to have, especially with that many fish, to have a bare bottom and have a nice pond back like mine, and just vacuum the bottom of the pond like every week or daily if you like doing it. So hopefully his fish turns out okay, but some of them are very in very poorly shape. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, I'm almost home. Talk to you guys later. Sorry, it's so dark already. The one thing I forgot to mention is that, like I said, he doesn't get sick or dead fish in the middle of summer. Usually they're very healthy. But this year he's done something different. He's been feeding a lot of rice to his fish lately because like I said, he's seen it done in Japan, watching those videos on YouTube. But he said I said, like, do you feed like this much of rice? No, he said he feeds this much of rice, I think every day. So that could have like fouled up the water, because rice is mostly carbohydrates. And I'm sure when you have a lot of carbohydrates, maybe the fish doesn't digest it. It ends up in the poop. And that would contribute to a lot of organics in the pond. Mostly probably like carbon. And when you have a lot of carbon in your pond, that's what bacteria loves to digest. And also when there's a lot of carbon in the pond, when bacteria is using that much carbon, oxygen gets depleted in the water. So anyways, that's something different he did this year that contributed to the fouled water and all this parasite and deaths and sick koi. Anyways, I just thought I'd add that.